So do you remember the shooter that shot up a air base in Pensacola, Florida a couple of months back that we all thought was terrorism? Well, guess what? It's terrorism, and why is nobody talking about it? What's going on, everybody? This is Rob Smith. So many people in the conservative movement wrap themselves in the flag. So many people talk about supporting the troops. So many people talk about things that we can do to support the troops. But yet, when you have a bombshell report like the one that came out earlier this week that showed that the man that killed 3 U.S. soldiers on a naval air base was in fact a Saudi Arabian national with ties to Al-Qaeda. When that news came out, that is a bombshell. And you know how many people really talked about it? You know how many people really covered it? Not very many. I have to see basically stories about that on mainstream sites. So I didn't really see that in conservative media. I don't really see anybody talking about it. I don't see the conservatives that love and support the troops so much outraged about the fact that we have a terrorist from a foreign country that was trained right here in America that executed a terrorist attack and killed U.S. soldiers on a U.S. air base. That to me is something that we should all be outraged about. That to me is something that we should be talking about, but yet I don't hear anything about it, and it makes me a little angry. I'm gonna tell you why. There's so many people that talk about they support the troops, and they talk about supporting the troops on Veterans Day, and they talk about supporting the troops on Memorial Day, but we don't really see anybody talking about the soldiers or anything that has to do with military members during the other 363 days of the year. And with it being Military Member Appreciation Month, it is all the more jarring that I haven't heard anything about this. But I'll tell you what, you're hearing about it from me now, and I'm here to tell you that the program that trains foreign nationals on American soil needs to end right now. We lost 3 soldiers in this terrorist attack. That is 3 soldiers too many. But if you stand up for troops, if you stand up for America, if you stand up for safety, if you stand up for everything that we claim as conservatives or people on the right to stand up for, then you have to say something about this. According to the Department of Justice, Saudi Arabia has over 800 soldiers training in the United States right now. Does anybody else think that's a problem? Does anybody else think that that's something that more people should be talking about, especially in the wake of a known terrorist attack that we know has already killed 3 military members on a military base? I think it's something that we should be talking about. And honestly, for anybody who claims to support the troops, that claims to wrap yourselves on the flag, that claims that we should always support our veterans, you need to be talking and thinking about this a little bit more. And to our politicians that have such an incestuous, dependent relationship on Saudi Arabia because of the oil or because of whatever, we need to start having a real conversation about that. Because 3 American soldiers were killed on a U.S. air base by one of their people that came over here to execute a terrorist attack. And if that doesn't make you angry, and if you're not speaking about this, then you're really not supporting the troops. On Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Military Member Appreciation Month, or any other time of the year.